Hey, you tapped in with the 2011 King. This that real 2-way top. Straight out of LA. Let's go. Hey yo, click, clack, chrome, yeah, the setup supreme. 2011 King got the whole Mac clean. Slide heavy, drip deadly, that's my theme. Every piece I pull got that showroom gleam. Pro 2A, this a God-given right. Got a crazy collection, keep it locked in sight. From the safe to the range, we don't play. Big steel, big stance, 2A and LA. 2A and LA, run it every day. Crazy with the gear, keep the drama at bay. 2011 King, let the metal ring. Second Amendment, tatted everything. 2A and LA, run it every day. Crazy with the gear, keep the drama at bay. 2011 King, let the metal ring. Second Amendment, tatted everything. Yeah, tatted everything.
YouTube family, what's good with you? It's your boy 2A in LA, and as always, fam, anything I say in this episode, prior episodes, and future episodes is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as law. Always do your own homework and come up with your own conclusions. Right about now, fam, I should go ahead and tap that like button for your boy. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Come on in. You can join the congregation by smashing that subscribe button and requesting all post notifications. And if you are an existing supporter of this channel, fam, I appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. You are the reason this channel is anything.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
They call me a god. They call me a god.
You'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a great 60.
Alright, fam, let's get this episode rolling. So check it, fam. Today we are doing the full review of the Dark Forge Wraith. Now, if you guys recall, I did an initial impressions video a while back when this gun first dropped. I hadn't had a chance to shoot any rounds through it, but I kind of gave you my initial impressions, right? And the takeaway was kind of twofold. One, nobody had heard of Dark Forge. For them to come out with guns ranging kind of from the low 5s to the low 7s, people were kind of shocked that this brand out of nowhere was charging so much for a high-end pistol. And I told you guys at the time that Dark Forge is owned by Rogue Tactical, and Rogue Tactical has been making guns for a long time. High-end 2011, more white labeling these guns though, and so they've been doing it for a long time, longer than a lot of the now mainstream gun companies. So that certainly brought me some comfort that, you know, we were dealing with a reputable company, an established company, a company that had a track record. So that was the first thing. Second thing was, you know, how did I kind of feel about the gun? So they are going to make, well, they are making 3 different models. So we are looking at the base model today, which is a ported gun. It has an MJD grip, which is like a polymer infused grip. And in my opinion, if you're looking for a non-aluminum or non-steel grip, nobody does it better than MJD. So for a polymer grip, it feels great, right? I told you that I thought the action was smooth, that the tolerances were tight, but we hadn't shot it yet, right? We wanted to get it out on the range and make it do what it do. So you guys saw the introduction. So let's kind of get into the review and start talking about how this gun performed once we put it under the microscope. All right, fam, if you've never seen a 2A in LA review, you can get 0 on the low end, 100 on the high end. I've never had a gun get a 0, never had a gun get 100, but one can always hold out hope, right? If you get something kind of 50 to 60, that's going to be your average gun. You know, think Glock 17 Gen 5, right? Gonna go bang every time, very reliable, but really no features or feels or thrills. If you get something 60 to 70, then you probably got a feature or two that you don't see with the average gun. And if you're 70 to 80, okay, now you're cooking with a little bit of gas. You've got a gun that has a few different features or maybe an outstanding quality that place it above the pack. Something kind of 80 to 89. Now you're talking about best in class guns, particularly if it's like 85 to 89, and then anything 90 or above, grail gun status. All right, fam, let's get into the review. First up, fit and finish. The gun is well done. You've got a steel slide, steel frame, like I said, the MJD polymer infused grip, 4.6 inch bull barrel ported. I'm not gonna let you see the port pattern there. You've got 3 ports on each side as well as a couple on the top right there. Keeps the gun shooting flat. Like I said, there is 0 wiggle slide to frame, 0 wiggle kind of grip to frame, and the barrel fitment is very, very nice. The action is smooth. You've got a very unique serration pattern that kind of comes down off the slide and into the frame. Makes it very, very easy to get a hold of. Love that about this firearm. Fit and finish for the Wraith, we're gonna give it a 14 out of a possible 15. All right, fam, next up, reliability. So at this point, we have gotten a lot of rounds through this firearm by myself and others. The firearm has performed without issue. And so normally when it's a new firearm by a new company, I'm hesitant to throw out a super high or a perfect score for reliability because we're talking about a sample size 1 of 1, right? However, given Rogue Tactical's tenure in the market and the way this gun has run so far, as well as the Reaper, if you haven't seen that review, make sure you go back and check it out. I do feel relatively confident about the Wraith, so we're going to give it a 14 out of a possible 15 for reliability. All right, fam, next up, durability. Like I said, steel frame, steel slide, that kind of polymer infused Kevlar grip that MJD does the best. I think the gun is very, very durable. You take care of it, it is going to take care of you. Durability, we're gonna give it a 14 out of a possible 15. All right, fam, next up, trigger. So take a look at it. You've got very little take up, clear defined wall, crisp clean break, reset, short reset. Look, fam, the trigger feels good. It really, it really does. I've got 0 issues with it. I don't know who makes the trigger for them, whether they make it themselves or they outsource it. or they use somebody else's trigger and just do the trigger shoe, but it's a good feeling trigger. It has a feeling kind of like a red dirt trigger, not an infinity trigger, not on that level, but very good nonetheless. Trigger, we're gonna give it 14 out of a possible 15. All right, fam, next up, accuracy. Now, when I talk about accuracy, a lot of times it's not just how tight the groupings are. That's a part of it. It's also about the shootability of the gun, how the gun handles under fire, how the gun handles depending upon your personal, in this case, my personal weaknesses. Does it make me a better shooter? The answer is yes. Really, really good ergonomics on the gun, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But at higher rates of speed, the gun definitely performed well. Yeah, for a 4.6 inch ported gun, good trigger, keeps it flat shooting. Accuracy, we're gonna give it a 9 out of a possible 10. All right, fam, next up, ergonomics. I told you guys, when it comes to like a polymer infused grip, nobody does it better than MJD. I really, I'm not a polymer grip guy. I'm an aluminum or steel frame guy just in general. So you'll see that on almost 100% of my 2011s. But if I was gonna go for kind of a really, really well-made polymer grip, MJD would be the ones that I would choose. So ergonomics is very good. The balance of the gun is very good. It's well weighted. Ergonomics, we're gonna give it a 9 out of a possible 10. All right, fam, these next two categories, we're gonna put those together. They're generally consistent when we're talking about the 2011 space. For aftermarket support, more and more companies are coming online now. Obviously, more and more companies offering new guns and a lot of support that goes along with that. Also, maintenance and upkeep, also very consistent. So we're gonna give them 4 out of 5 in both of those categories. You gotta break 2011s down once every 1,000 rounds or so, clean them out. They'll run flawlessly if they're well done guns, and this one is. All right, fam, next up, affordability. So I'll go ahead and I'll put the MSRP up there. This gun is in the low 5s, the polymer version of the Wraith. The aluminum version of the Wraith is about $5,900, and then the Reaper, which is kind of a different gun, ported and compensated, that one's coming in a hair over $7,000. Relative to its $5,200 price tag, I think a lot of this just depends upon like what are the other competitors in the marketplace at or around that range. You've got Combat Precision that's there, you got Race City Defense that's there, you've got the Cardinal that's in that ballpark. All of those are really, really great offerings. I think the bigger question is which one would you choose, but relative to affordability, anytime a gun is over $5 grand, that's an expensive gun. We're gonna give it 2 out of a possible 5 for affordability. Next up, flex. Is Instagram gonna go crazy? Are your boys gonna be like, D? Yes, fam. It's a good looking gun. It's a good looking gun, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I even like the fact that your grip screws have that bronze feel to them, as well as that extended mag release, giving it a little bit more flavor. Like I said, the serration pattern that comes along the top and then extends down the slides, the window cuts in the slide, serving to reduce weight. Look, it's a good looking firearm, fam, no doubt about it. Flex points, we're gonna give it a 3 out of a possible 5. All right, fam, if you add all of that up, this gun gets an 87 out of a possible 100 points. I told you guys, if you get something that's kind of 85 to 89, you're talking about a best-in-class type gun. It is up there with the Cardinals. It is up there with the Race City Defense guns. And we're gonna be comparing that gun with some others, so make sure you stay tuned for that. All right? That's it for this episode, fam. Until next time, as always, take care of one another and peace.